For me, Nordschleife was fantastic.
Listen, guys, something absolutely insane is happening in Formula One right now, and most people are sleeping on it. Hold on, because the most dominant driver in modern F1 history is currently sitting at 9th in the championship, threatening to quit the sport, driving a car he calls fundamentally wrong, and secretly testing at Silverstone just days before Miami. Let me show you something. Today, we are breaking down everything going on with Max Verstappen in 2026, chapter by chapter. Buckle up. The Nightmare Season. So, let's set the scene first, because you need to understand just how bad things have gotten for Max and Red Bull this year. After winning 4 consecutive world championships and nearly grabbing a 5th last year, Verstappen came into 2026 with a new car, new regulations, and honestly, a lot of question marks. And those question marks turned into a full-blown nightmare pretty quickly. Through the first 3 races in Australia, China, and Japan, Max has officially had his worst start to an F1 season since he was a rookie back in 2015. He is currently sitting 9th in the driver's standings, a massive 60 points behind championship leader Kimi Antonelli. 60 points, guys. That is not a small gap. That is a completely different postcode. The RB22 problem. What is actually wrong with this car? Because it is genuinely fascinating in a painful kind of way. The Red Bull RB22 is a deeply troubled machine right now, and the data tells the full story. The power unit, their engine, is actually one of the strongest on the grid, so the raw speed is there. But here is the problem. The chassis is massively overweight, reportedly sitting around 10 kilograms above the minimum weight limit. In Formula One, that is enormous. Every single kilogram matters, and 10 of them is basically like strapping a small child to the back of the car. On top of that, their energy harvesting in the slow corners is way behind the competition, particularly Mercedes. The car also has terrible rear-end stability, and you can literally see Max making steering corrections every single lap just to keep it pointing in the right direction. He himself described driving it as every lap is a fight. That tells you everything. Max's reaction. He is not happy. So, how has Max responded to all of this? Well, not quietly, and honestly, that is why we love him. He has been absolutely brutally honest about the whole situation, and some of the things he has said are genuinely shocking. He called the racing in 2026 a joke. He described the new generation of cars as Mario Kart. And most recently, he said the direction Formula One has taken is fundamentally wrong, and that no amount of small tweaks is going to fix the core problem. He even added, and this is the part that got everyone talking, that not everyone will admit this publicly, but everyone in the paddock knows it is true. This is not just a driver venting after a bad race weekend. This is Max Verstappen, the most calculated and measured driver on the grid, consistently and repeatedly firing shots at the sport he has dominated for years. Something has genuinely shifted. The quit threat. Is he actually leaving F1? And this brings us to the biggest story of 2026 so far. Is Max Verstappen actually going to quit Formula One? Because he has not exactly been shy about putting that idea on the table. He has openly said he is considering leaving the sport at the end of this season if things do not improve. And here is what makes this feel real rather than just frustration talking. He has been completely consistent about it. Race after race, interview after interview, the message is the same. He is not enjoying this new era of Formula One. Now, David Coulthard recently came out and said something that really stuck with me. He warned that nothing lasts forever, and that if Red Bull continues to struggle, Max is going to go wherever his career is best served. Remember, this is a man under contract until 2028. But contracts in F1 have a way of becoming very flexible when a driver of his caliber starts making noise. Miami could genuinely be a turning point in one direction or the other. The FIA rules war. Now let's talk about the bigger picture here, because this is not just a Max versus Red Bull story. This is Max versus the entire direction of Formula One. The 2026 regulations brought in a massive overhaul. New power units, new chassis philosophy, a huge shift towards electrical energy. And the problems have been clear from the very beginning. The FIA has been holding emergency meetings throughout April, trying to patch things up. They confirmed a package of tweaks coming into effect at Miami, which is something at least. But Max is not impressed. He welcomed the effort, but immediately made clear that patching small things does not fix a broken foundation. The FIA, on their side, insists the package is fundamentally good. So right now, you have the sport's governing body and its biggest star in a very public disagreement about whether Formula One itself is heading in the right direction. That is wild.
The secret Silverstone test. Okay, so here is where things get a little more exciting, because not everything happening right now is doom and gloom. Just yesterday, Red Bull quietly took their car to Silverstone for a filming day, and this is very significant timing. The Miami Grand Prix is coming up next, and every single team on the grid is bringing upgrades. Red Bull used this Silverstone session to test new parts, assess what works, and show up in Miami with something more competitive. Their team principal, Laurent Mekies, has already confirmed that updates are coming and that the 5-week break has been used hard by the entire team. Now, whether those upgrades actually close the gap remains to be seen, but the fact that they are putting in this kind of work and that Max is still there doing the filming day rather than checked out mentally tells you that the fight is not over yet, not even close.
What happens next? The Miami GP is massive. So where does all of this leave us heading into Miami? Honestly, this is one of the most important race weekends in Max Verstappen's entire career, not because of the championship, but because of what it means for everything else. If Red Bull shows up in Miami with genuine improvements, it gives Max a reason to stay positive, stay committed, and keep pushing. It gives the quit conversation a reason to go quiet. But if Miami is another disaster, another weekend of fighting the car, losing positions off the line, and watching others race away, then that conversation is going to get very loud, very fast. Miami is not just a Grand Prix this year. For Max Verstappen, it is a crossroads, and the whole world of Formula One is watching.